Hey everybody, I hope you guys are well. So I wanted to talk a bit about setting boundaries. So I've been running my business for about 18 months now. I set up last year, and when you're in the service industry and you're serving people, I think it's quite difficult to switch off. I find that sometimes I've ended up messaging people in the evening and first thing in the morning, even though I have made sure that the morning is all about me, because I really, really believe that that first few hours in the morning is where you have a chance to really get yourself and your head in the right space. And recently, I think I've lost that a little bit. So I just want you to know the importance of setting boundaries. So the best way to think of it is you've got your business and you've got you. Now, technically, although you are the brand, you do work in your business. So if you'd been working for somebody and you were doing like a 9 to 5 job, would you be checking emails late at night? Probably not, right? So there's a few things you can be doing to make sure that you set those boundaries. And one of them is just being honest with people. I don't work in the evenings. I will come back to you as soon as I can. Saying little things like that and just realizing that people will actually understand where you're coming from as well. So the other thing about setting boundaries as well is it's important for you to actually have that time for yourself, because if you don't take some time for yourself, you're not going to be able to give to others anyway. So although you are serving people continuously, you just need to remember that these setting boundaries is not a bad thing. If anything, it will help you to serve better if you have some boundaries put into place. So, for example, I try not to message people at weekends anymore. I need to have some time to myself. And if I do work on the business, I generally work on things that are related to me, because the problem is when you are serving people, you don't really have much time to grow your side of the business. So not having much headspace meant that I wasn't able to think of the new services that I'm now providing. And those services will help me grow as a person. And also, I've brought in some new elements that I wouldn't have thought if I didn't have the time and the space. So, setting boundaries has a lot of implications as well. It's not just about you being a bit more, I guess, not direct, but a bit more strict with yourself. But also, it's just telling people out there that you're not always going to be available. Obviously, when you work with clients, then you need to be available. And I think as long as you explain yourself and you say, I'll come back to you when I can, or tell them you don't work at weekends and just be honest, then people actually don't expect that much from you. The problem is we expect a lot from ourselves, especially when you work for yourself, because you feel like you have to be constantly available. And sometimes that's our own problem as well. Sometimes the reason why we're like that is because we want others to be available as well. So we need to kind of look at our mindset. We need to look at why we feel that way and why we feel like we need to constantly be going back to people. So setting boundaries is really, really, really important. And I think whether you're just starting out or whether you've been in a business for a while, if you can set these boundaries early on, it will be a really good foundation for you to build on later. So I guess my tips around it are: make sure that you know what you want to be setting boundaries around.